You ever hear a song and bam, you're right back in high school? Or you catch a whiff of something that smells exactly like your grandma's kitchen? That feeling? That's nostalgia. And while it feels like this cozy little trip down memory lane, it turns out your brain might actually be using it for something way, way more important. So what's really going on here? Let's get into it.
Right. So this feeling is totally universal. It's just a core part of being human, a way we connect with our own story. But to really understand why nostalgia is so powerful, we first need to talk about the very thing it seems designed to fight against.
And that feeling, well, it's loneliness. It's one of the toughest emotions we can go through, and it's a whole lot more complicated than just, being by yourself for a bit.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. We're not talking about just being physically alone. I mean, you can be in a packed room at a party, surrounded by people, and still feel profoundly, deeply lonely. It's a state of mind, this deep, painful feeling of being disconnected, no matter who's around you.
And the stakes here are really high. Research shows this isn't just about feeling down for a day. Chronic loneliness is actually linked to some serious stuff, like depression and anxiety. It can even have a negative impact on your physical health. It just drains your motivation and can make it really hard to even think about your future goals. It's a genuinely damaging state to be in. So, how does our mind cope?
And that brings us right back to nostalgia, because as it turns out, it's not just some random fuzzy feeling. It seems to be our mind's direct response to this exact kind of emotional pain.
We've all felt it, for sure. But what is actually happening inside our heads when we get hit with that wave of nostalgia?
This really gets to the heart of it. Nostalgia is the classic bittersweet emotion, right? On one hand, you get this amazing, warm feeling of remembering a great moment. But it's always mixed with this little pang of sadness, this quiet realization that you can never have that exact moment back.
And our brains are just wired to respond to certain cues. It could be a song, a place you haven't been to in years, an old photo. Heck, even a specific smell or the taste of a food from when you were a kid can instantly open the floodgates to these memories. It's powerful stuff, and it often happens without us even trying.
Okay, and here's where it gets really fascinating. This isn't just a passive experience. The research suggests it's an active, totally unconscious process. Think of it like a defense mechanism that your mind deploys for a very specific mission.
So, what's a defense mechanism? Basically, it's something our subconscious mind does automatically to shield us from pain. It's a coping tool for when reality feels a little too harsh or threatening, and nostalgia, it fits that description to a T. And here is the actual proof. Researchers looked at university students, a group that often deals with a ton of new social pressures, and they found a direct link. The more lonely a student felt, the more often their mind would serve up a dose of nostalgia. Their brains were literally reaching back in time to find comfort.
So let's just break down how this works step by step. First, you get the trigger, that painful feeling of loneliness. Then, your mind, without you even realizing it, kicks into protection mode. And here's the cool part. It doesn't just pull up any random memory. It specifically looks for memories where you felt happy, loved, and connected with other people. The result? You get a temporary feeling of relief, a little reminder of belonging that eases the pain.
So this is way more than just feeling good for a moment. This defense mechanism brings real, measurable, psychological benefits to the table.
And get this isn't some rare thing. It's incredibly common. One study found that a whopping 79% of young adults feel nostalgic at least once a week. That means it's a regular part of our mental landscape, constantly working for us in the background.
And just look at the payoff. Studies show that nostalgia does more than just distract us. It actively reinforces our sense of connection to others. It can make us more optimistic, boost our self-esteem, and give us a sense of meaning by linking our past self to our present self. And, most importantly, it directly pushes back against the very feeling that triggered it in the first place, loneliness.
But like with any powerful coping tool, there's got to be a balance, right? It's an amazing ally, but it can be misused if we're not careful.
And this is the crucial distinction we have to make. While nostalgia is a healthy response, leaning on it too much can become a form of escape. If we spend all our time looking backward, we risk completely withdrawing from the present and avoiding the very challenges we need to face today.
This really frames it perfectly. The whole point of nostalgia isn't to be a place you live, it's a resource you visit. It's there to remind you of your strength, your connections, and your story so you can bring that resilience back with you into the present moment.
And that kind of leaves us with the final question to chew on. Nostalgia is your mind's secret weapon, a powerful defense against pain. The whole key is learning how to use it as a source of strength, not as a hiding place. So I guess the question for you is, how do you use your own memories?